Welcome students to Kansagara Academy. This video which is related to your CA Final Paper 6 Integrated Business Solutions or IBS covers discussion on two important things. The first, paper structure, and second, the nature of case studies, because this paper is wholly case studies based. So let's start our discussion, students. I have summarized the important points here in the form of a chart. If you want, you can pause the video and write down the necessary things. The first point is that the paper will be of 100 marks. It is paper 6, the last paper in your second group. The duration of this paper will be 4 hours. Normally, the duration of other CA final papers is 3 hours. The next point, only case studies will be asked. So as such, students, you don't have any fresh concepts or fresh stuff to learn in this paper. This paper focuses on the integrated application of what you have studied in the remaining portion of your CA final. So only case studies will be asked, and they will cover basically 7 subjects, the 5 CA final papers. And what are those 5 CA final papers? The first is FR, second FR financial reporting, then advanced financial management, AFM, third audit, fourth DT, it includes international taxation also, fifth IDT, as you are aware it covers GST and customs and foreign trade policy. Then 2 more subjects. These are basically from set A and set B of your self-paced learning modules. Set A, you know, it is corporate and economic laws. It is mandatory in set A. This is only one subject. So corporate and economic laws. Here, students, you know that you have Companies Act and you have in economic laws FEMA Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999, Foreign Contributions Regulation Act 2010, and Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. Then the 7th and last subject will be set B of your self-paced learning modules, that is strategic cost and performance management. Briefly, you can call it costing. So basically, students, the case studies asked in this paper will cover concepts which you study in these 7 papers. There will be no fresh concepts to learn. Now, here 2 things I would like to emphasize. The first thing is that if you read in the prospectus of CA course, then below the title of this paper, it is written that it is multidisciplinary case study with strategic management. What does it signify? First, multidisciplinary case study means that in one case study, more than one subject will be covered. Generally, 3 or more subjects have been seen to be covered in these case studies. So it will be the joint application of the concepts of those subjects. Then strategic management, it means that the questions which will be asked below the case study in the form of MCQs and descriptive questions, which we will soon see, they will have a strategic bent. Means the questions will be asked in a strategic background. So, and the second clarification that I want to make is though the subjects which you study in CA Inter, they don't seem to have any direct relevance or direct bearing on these case studies. However, uh, if sometimes you come across topics which you study in CA Inter, in all the 6 subjects, you have 6 papers in CA Inter, so then you cannot complain. It is possible. How it is possible? See, in FR, in FR, that the focus is on IND AS. And in CA Inter Advanced Accounting, the focus is on accounting standards. So in any case study, if you come across some questions based on accounting standards, then it can be sometimes possible. Similarly, in CA Inter DT, you study some basic things which have relatively less importance in CA final DT. So you may come across some questions relating to CA Inter income tax syllabus or CA Inter GST syllabus. Similarly, some concepts of strategic management or some concepts of FM or some concepts relating to auditors from company law and auditing at the inter level can also be asked. However, the coverage and for the focus of these types of questions will be rare and limited. But it is better for any CA student to be aware right from CA inter level that what they have to study all the concepts of all the subjects of CA inter conceptually, and they have to bear in mind that in future these concepts might be relevant at the CA final level also. Okay, students, now let's come to the exact paper structure. The ICI has recently, as early as in January 14th, 2024, the Board of Studies has made an announcement, and in that announcement, they have briefly clarified the paper structure and marking system of this paper. So our discussion is essentially based on that. So according to ICI, there will be 5 case studies in the paper, and each case study will be of 25 marks. So there will be total 125 marks of paper, out of which 5 case studies the student has to attempt any 4. There will be nothing like a compulsory question. So students, in 4 hours, you have to attempt 4 case studies. So one case study, 1 hour will be available. Now, on the nature of case studies, we will come at a later stage. What will be the types of questions which you will come across? So below each case study, there will be 2 types of questions. 10 marks of MCQs and 15 marks of descriptive questions. This is in 40-60 ratio. So in total for the whole paper, if you see, there will be 40 marks of MCQs, total 40 marks of MCQs, and 60 marks of descriptive questions. 60 marks. 15 into 4 and 10 into 4. Now what will be the MCQs? See, the MCQs generally, ICI has also put up 15 case studies for the students to have an idea about the paper. So from where ICI has brought these case studies? So students, earlier in outgoing SFM, there used to be one elective paper in second group of CA final. Out of 6 subjects, the student had to select one elective. So largely the students used to select the taxation, the risk management and the taxation related paper, international taxation. So students used to select that particular those papers because of the ease of papers. But there was one paper which was multidisciplinary case studies. Students generally used to avoid that paper, fearing that they have to work hard for that and the questions will be difficult. Now, in in our new CA final syllabus, there is no escape as this paper is mandatory. So, students, now the question arises is that the ICI has take up all these 15 case studies, which I will show you the briefly those case studies from the suggested answers of that particular paper. So I'm showing you one example. So this is for example case study 1. It will be like this. You can see a story will run. It will cover up 3 or more subjects generally, and then there will be multiple choice questions like this. So here you can see there are 5 multiple choice questions. Below each question you have 4 alternatives A, B and C and D, and you have to select the right alternative. So there are 5 MCQs. Then here you see descriptive questions. Questions 6, 7 and 8, 3 questions are descriptive. And then the ICI is also given answers. So students, in this form, there are some 15 case studies which ICI has put up on the BOS portal. So what will be the types of MCQs? So MCQs, the marking pattern, there will be 5 generally, 5 MCQs of 2 marks each. 2 marks and 5 MCQs. Generally this pattern is seen. Only in one question we saw 4 MCQs of 2.5 marks. So mostly we can expect that there will be 5 MCQs of 2 marks each, and rarely this pattern can change. Now for descriptive questions, students, generally we see 3 questions. Rarely you can see 2 questions or 4 questions. And here the marking will be 5 plus 5 plus 5 means 5 marks 3 questions, or 7 marks plus 8 marks, or say 6 plus 4 plus 5, or 7 plus 3 plus 5, etc. Means any pattern is possible. In short, the total will be 15 marks. Depends upon the size of the descriptive question. So students, this is all about the types of questions that you will see. Now so we will have 40-60 ratio for MCQs and descriptive questions. On nature of questions, we are coming in the next discussion. Next topic is that the exam will be open book. Open book means you can carry any necessary material with you in the exam hall. Now, what books to carry in the exam hall, we will cover this topic in the next video relating to strategy, resources and question bank. So there I will let you know it will be better for you to cover which books, to carry which books in the exam hall. Then next important thing is that there will be no negative marking. There will be no negative marking. Now let's come to this very important topic, the nature of case studies. So students, generally what will happen, let me show you a brief summary which me and Aditya sir have prepared on these 15 case studies. See, in generally what happens that in these case studies a story will run. Mostly the setup is that there are some young chartered accountants. They have set up a practicing firm of CAs, and now they have some clients, and then there will be business of the clients and the transactions of the clients. So the questions will be on those businesses and the situations of clients. Maybe the client may be posing these questions to the CA. Then another common background is that there will be an export company or a textile company. The company will have some business and some investments, some assets purchased, some transactions, some borrowings, and various types of things. And some director of the company may be going to amusement park, or so in this way the story will develop, and the questions will be asked on multiple subjects, on issues arising from this situation. Then it is also possible that some students have passed from IIMs or IITs, and they are setting up a startup, and they have a friend which is a CA, and now they are asking queries to the CA friend on the business situation which they have. Then you can also have, say for example, there can be a company in which a raid is taken place, or a TDS survey or an income tax survey is taking place, and the government, the officers are asking questions, and how you will defend the company as your client. Then you may be the auditor of a company, and you may be facing a certain unique situation which they will describe in the case study, and the questions may be asked on that case study. So students, this way the story will run and the questions will be asked relating to that. Now what will be the nature of questions? So students, in MCQs, the questions can be on calculation. There can be opinion based MCQs, means there will be 4 alternative opinions given in ABCD options. You have to select the right opinion, the most fitting opinion. Then you have to, it is also possible that the 4 alternatives may be relating to the sections applicable to the situation, and you have to select the right section. So this way then some calculations may be there. There are 4 alternative calculations given to you. Then which is the correct answer, that you have to find out. So this will be largely the nature of the MCQs. Now in case studies, in descriptive questions, the student may be required to calculate the taxable income of a company, or for example, in the story, the business has made some investments, then say relating to its treatment in the consolidated financial statements, or say journal entries, accounting treatment of specified transactions, or how the account will be prepared for specified transactions, or how the some investments, suppose some investments are made in the story, then what will be the rate of return, what will be the NAV, and likewise all these calculations which you normally make in remaining subjects of the CA final. So they can all come in the form of a case study. Then you can also come across opinion based questions, that the student may be asked to express his best opinion or give a suggestion to the directors, or on how you will defend the company before the income tax authorities in an income tax survey or in an income tax raid, or how you will represent your client before the income tax authorities in particular procedures, and all these so related questions, and the related theory can be asked. Related theory, the theory questions will not be direct pure theory, but they will be related to the case study. So students, these types of descriptive questions you will come across. Now other two important things I want to discuss here is that, first, that how many, on an average, one question will cover how many subjects. One case study will cover how many subjects. So here students, mostly if you see, most questions are based on 3 subjects. Mostly the questions are based on 3 subjects out of the 7. In the 15 case studies which the ICI has published, some 8 case studies, they were based on 3 subjects. Then there was one case study, it was based on only two subjects, one case study. So we generally expect rarely that the case study will be based on only 2 subjects. That case study was based on DT and IDT. I am showing you briefly the summary of those 15 case studies. See, here you can see, students, these are 15 case studies and the subjects covered. So particularly you see the third case study, it was based on DT and IDT only. This case study first, it was based on AFM, DT and FEMA. FEMA is under economic laws. Then the second case study, AFM, DT and company law, and so on. All these case studies are there, students. And there were, however, some 3 case studies which were based on as many as 4 subjects, and there were 3 case studies which were based on as many as 5 subjects. Here, students, I have treated FEMA or Foreign Contributions Regulation Act and Companies Act as 2 different subjects based on their nature. So this is generally the frequency. So mostly we conclude that there will be, on an average, most case studies will cover 3 subjects. However, there will be also case studies covering 4 or 5 subjects, and rarely there will be a case study which will cover only 2 subjects. So this pattern may change. It is not necessary that the pattern of these 15 MCQs, so which are taken from the suggested answers of the multidisciplinary case study paper, but still this pattern can change, but mostly this pattern should follow. Then another thing is that related to this I want to discuss is the frequency. Means what will be the frequency? By frequency I mean questions will be asked on which subject mostly. Which subject will be mostly covered in the questions. So here, students, I am writing these subjects, rearranging these subjects in descending order. Means the subjects which I will include in the first category will be mostly seen in the case studies. Then the frequency will go on decreasing. So the students, most case studies, majority case studies, they cover frequently DT, IDT and company law, corporate and economic laws. Here also company law most important. DT has been seen in majority case studies. IDT is also there and company law is also there. Economic laws have relatively less weightage. Then in the second category we see FR, audit and AFM. We also see questions on case studies on FR, audit and AFM, but with relatively less frequency. Here also relatively the frequency of AFM is lowest out of the 3. Then the third, SCPM, costing. See here, rarely you will see the question based on costing. In those 15 case studies which ICI has put up on the BOS portal, only one case study covers costing. So this is, students, about the frequency. So we conclude that DT, IDT and corporate and economic laws are the mostly covered subjects in majority case studies. then followed by FR audit and AFM, and costing is the least important, has the least important coverage, least frequency of coverage. Okay, then students, one positive point that we observe about this particular paper is that there is generally no ambiguity seen, means the questions will be quite well drafted, and the student should not face the problem of ambiguity. Normally, in AFM, in many sums, students have to grapple with ambiguity. So this is a positive thing. And after the backgrounds, the exact case studies may not repeat in the exam. So, however, the plotting may repeat. So it will be very the best strategy the student should follow, that we are discussing in the next video. And we are also, me and Aditya sir are preparing on a question bank related on IBS paper, which we will bring about within around after 2 months, that from April beginning it should be available. So if the student has covered all the case studies, and our question bank will be based on the ICI case studies only, and we'll also add some value to that. So if you cover up all those case studies, then the exact case studies may not repeat, but the plotting and the nature of questions may well repeat. So students, in this way we complete the discussion on the paper structure and the nature of case studies of your IBS paper. Okay, thank you.